Do we now know the hidden truth behind why the West Virginia Mountaineers football team has been nothing more than mediocre for the past 6 seasons? Is it not even related to anything on the football field? Is it actually a curse? That's right, you heard me. Is it a curse? And before you think I've lost my mind and am off my rocker, stay tuned. I'll explain right after this word from one of my sponsors. Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident or fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com. What is up, and welcome into this episode of Couz's Corner, your home for top-shelf college sports news and analysis around the West Virginia Mountaineers, the Big 12, and sometimes a little conference realignment talk. On tap in today's episode, we're focusing on the West Virginia Mountaineers, and we're focusing on the recent history of the West Virginia Mountaineers and why they just might be suffering from a curse. And I know before you laugh at me, before you say I'm off my rocker, you've heard of the curse of the Bambino, right? You've heard of the curse of the GOAT that impacted the Chicago Cubs, right? And both of those curses were finally broken after decades. Is West Virginia suffering the same fate here? Are they suffering the curse of the Powell Mountain Goat? That's right. The Powell Mountain Goat. And the Powell Mountain Goat does exist. I've seen it with my own eyes. I'll explain what it is in a second. But the Powell Mountain Goat has not been seen since the spring of 2019. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. But the Powell Mountain Goat, according to her story and to the legend, and again, the goat was real because I did see it, but the legend says that the goat lived on a farm near Powell Mountain in a place called Muddledy Valley, but escaped from the farm at 3 months old. The farmer apparently rescued the goat, brought her back to the farm, and lo and behold, she escaped again and went right back to Powell Mountain. The farmer finally got tired of rescuing this goat and just left her there on Powell Mountain, and she survived on her own for 18 years. That goat was a tough old goat. Literally. And for those of you who don't live in West Virginia or may have never made the trip up I-19 from southern West Virginia to Morgantown, 119 from southern West Virginia to Morgantown, you may not know where Powell Mountain is. Well, Powell Mountain is located just north of the city of Summersville, West Virginia. It's an estimated 2,400 feet above sea level, and it is one of the tallest peaks east of the Allegheny Mountains. And like I said, I have, during trips up and down 119, whether it be to Morgantown for games or whether it be traveling for work or to concerts in Pittsburgh, whatever the case may be, I have seen that goat with my own eyes. Now, again, it hasn't been spotted since the spring of 2019, which just so happens to be the same year West Virginia hired Neal Brown. And West Virginia has had arguably the worst 6-year stretch since the late 1970s in its football history. When you look at West Virginia's record since the last sighting of the Powell Mountain Goat, their football record is 37-35. They've won 51% of their games. They went 25-28 in the Big 12. Before the Powell Mountain Goat died, West Virginia was 746, 493, and 45, a 58% win percentage. Before the Powell Mountain Goat died, they were 38-32 in the Big 12 under Dana Holgorsen, while Oklahoma and Texas were still in the conference. So, you tell me, did the death of the Powell Mountain Goat curse West Virginia football? Now, the legend says if you're traveling that road and you see that goat, or did see that goat, then West Virginia was going to win that Saturday. But if you didn't see the goat, West Virginia was going to take an L that day. And it is ironic that since the goats died, West Virginia struggled. They've been no better than mediocre. Can West Virginia break that curse, just like the curse of the Bambino was broken, just like the curse of the goats that plagued the Chicago Cubs? I think it can. But hopefully it doesn't take quite as long to break the curse, because if it happens, if it takes that long, it won't happen in my lifetime. But that being said, I personally do not believe in this curse. I just thought it was very entertaining to do this show. I thought it would be something that you would get a kick out of. And yes, this goat was real. I did see it. But how it got to Powell Mountain, I'm not sure if that story's been proven. And the fact that West Virginia lost when that goat was not out and visible on the hillside of that mountain off of 119, not sure if that's real either. But the Powell Mountain goat is real. Go check it out. It has its own Facebook page, Powell's Mountain Goat. You can Google it. You can find it on social media or on the internet. Just Google the Powell Mountain Goat. You'll find it. It's Powell, Powell Mountain. And by the way, a side note, for those of you who aren't from West Virginia, if you happen to be coming through West Virginia, up Route 119 to Morgantown, the town of Summersville, where Powell Mountain is located, do not speed through that town. You will get a ticket. Or really any of the towns on 119. They are speed traps, and they will write you a ticket if you go more than 4 or 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. Just let that be a warning to you. But let me know what you think in the comments about this Powell Mountain Goat legend. Do you think there's actually a curse, and do you believe in curses? Or do you think it's all just hogwash? Let me know in the comment section. I personally don't believe in it. I just thought it was fun to talk about, and it is a very, very ironic story that just happens to coincide with the hiring of Neal Brown, and happens to coincide with the pandemic that hit a year later. It happens to coincide with a lot of other things too, but more directly seems to correlate with the downward progression, or at least plateau, of West Virginia's football program. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I want to give a quick shout out to my random VIP members of this episode. They are Roy Harrison, Bill G, Phil LeMasters, Tom Reinhart, and Brandon Bailey. Thank you all for your paid membership. If you want to be a paid member, hit the join button below, or go to my channel homepage and hit the join button beside the profile picture. I think there's also a link in my description box. I do want to remind you, I do have a merch store. I have not promoted my merch store much lately, but right now through April the 17th, you get 20% off any item in my merch store. And if you're a paid VIP member, a club level member, I will leave you a special link where you can get, and I'll leave it in the community tab on my Facebook page for members only. I'll leave you a link for your own special merch store where you get an even bigger discount from what's already included. But right now, everybody can get 20% off if you shop between now and April 17th. You can get yourself a t-shirt, a coffee mug, a travel mug, or a nice baseball cap. I also have hoodies available. I have tried to downsize the merch store, make it easier to find the products you want. So maybe it'll make a little bit easier shopping experience for you over there. Go check it out right now. The link is in the description box. You can support me for free by hitting the thumbs up button, dropping a comment, or subscribing to the channel. You can check out this video in the corner of your screen, or this video over here pertaining to West Virginia basketball. Hope the rest of your day's top shelf. Thanks for tuning in, and Q Country Roads.